Let's have a look at another couple of types of control voltages that you'll find in a synthesizer. One is called a gate, the other is called a trigger. Control voltages are really important in synthesizers. You're probably getting that idea. And that's why a lot of the modules that you see have VC in front of them, like a voltage-controlled oscillator or VCO. Voltage-controlled filter, VCF, voltage-controlled amplifier, VCA. So we're going to look at the scope. On the top is going to be the gate. On the bottom is going to be the trigger. So I'm going to hit a note on the keyboard. You will see the gate open. The trigger just gets a bump. If I hold down a note, as long as I hold down that note, the gate's up or open. I only get the one trigger. If I leave that note held down and I hit other notes, the gate stays up, but I get more triggers. So what do we do with it? Well, let's go back down to our synth and switch a few cables around. So I'm going to get rid of the trigger signal that was on the scope, and I'm going to replace that with another control voltage from something called an envelope generator. This red thing is an envelope generator. What the envelope generator does is it actually generates another type of control voltage or another control voltage. And this one is usually used to change volume over time. In order to do that, we need to affect an amplifier. So we can do it the old way, like we did before. We can go back to our volume control. This thing is getting a little tight in here with all these cables. So I'm going to turn the volume control down on my voltage controlled amplifier, this thing. And then I'm going to turn it back up again and play the keyboard. Sorry, I'm going to be in the way a bit. But that could get old kind of fast. So what would be nice is if we could do that automatically. And that's what the envelope generator does. This envelope generator, those are sometimes called contour generators. I think the Minimo calls it a contour generator. There's some others. Make Noise has something called a contour. These modules will cause a change of something over time. And it's usually volume, often on the filter. We'll have a listen to that later as well. So this is a 4-stage envelope generator. It has attack, that tells how fast the note comes up to its full volume, or the volume that it's supposed to come up to. Decay, that tells how fast the volume goes down to a level that it's going to sit at. Sustain is the level it sits at. And release tells it how long to let the note die out after you let the key off. So let's go back up to our scope. I have the envelope generator now going into the blue, and I still have the gate. So we'll just have a quick look. So there's the envelope generator. If you look at this thing, you'll see that right now what's happening is the gate is telling the envelope generator to do something. And in this case, it's got that little attack or quickie decay there, very quick attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the attack slightly and watch the curve here. Now you see that drop right there, that's the decay, that's the sustain, and then release is very quick. So let's take our sustain down a bit so you can have a look at that. See, it goes way down now. I'm going to take my sustain back up a little bit, and now we're going to fool with the decay, and you'll see that curve change. So now the decay is much longer. I'm going to take our sustain down a bit so you can see that even more. And what might be nice is to have it actually on release if it dies out a little bit slower. So let's try that. You can see when I press down the key and I let the key go by looking at the signal on the yellow, and you can see what happens here. And you can hear how the sound dies out gradually now. So there's key on, cues up the envelope generator. Key off does the release. And that is really all there is to an envelope generator controlling an amplifier and the gate controlling the envelope generator.